We're live. What's up, Facebook? Hello, hello, hello. Let me just double check, make sure the audio is coming through. Oh, come on, don't be slow. I got stuff to do. I see it. Can I hear it? Oh, come on. And we're live. All right, I can hear myself. So what's up, everybody? So glad to have you here. My name is Justin Glover. This live is going to benefit all of those watching that want to add zeros to your bottom line this year. All of you that want to learn how to take your Facebook Live game, your marketing game to the next level. This live will help you do that. In the next few minutes, I'm going to share with you 3 things that I've learned from the past 12 days that will that's going to add probably an extra 6 figures to the income over the next year. So what's up, Aaron? What's up, Joe? Rashkin's in the house, man. It's a party now. Chance, good to see you here. Nestor, Brett, good to have you guys here. So 3 things that I've learned in the last 12 days that'll easily make me an additional 6 figures in the next 12 months. Marketing tips. So before I dive into this and actually share with you what the 3 things are, I want to just first give some context to those of you that may be catching one of my lives for the first time, but also I wanted to extend some gratitude to Mr. Ray Higdon, good friend, and everybody on his team over at the Higdon Group for putting together the 14-day marketing challenge, because had it not been for them, the marketing challenge wouldn't be as effective as it is, it wouldn't be as powerful as it is, and it probably would not have gotten me out of my shell and doing the lives as frequently, and it wouldn't have impacted my life as much as it has. So thank you for all of you putting that together. On that note, I want to share how I've personally grown over these past 12 days and just kind of give a little before and after of my personal transformation, because it's been quite interesting to watch. All right, so before the challenge, I was a little hesitant to go live to the public, but in the first 2 days of the challenge, Ray helped me to realize that when I'm not going live, I'm literally not making as big of an impact as I'm capable of making to the world. And I don't know about you, but I'm here to make impact, so that was a big deal to me. Also, before the challenge, I was not at all excited about the idea of trying to come up with content to create every single day, but he's obliterated, whatever that word is, that as an obstacle, because what he's taught, what I've learned, like I'm never going to run out of things to actually talk about again. Another thing before the challenge, I thought all my lives had to be perfectly congruent with whatever product, service, or opportunity I was promoting on the back end. But what I've learned is that's not the case, because with proper use of transitions, whenever you have good transitions, that opens the door of possibility up. You can literally talk about anything and transition to anything else on the back end, and it just opens up the door of possible topics that you can talk about. I've also learned the very, very important distinction between calls to action, CTAs, and calls to purchase. All right, and I've learned to seek conversation over a conversion, and this awareness alone is probably the biggest awareness that I've had through the whole thing. And this one distinction will likely 10x the amount of leads that I generate over the coming year, and probably be responsible for an extra 6 figures in my income over that same year. So before the challenge, in terms of results, I had like 1 to 3 people on average a day reaching out to me and asking me about the products, services, and opportunities that I sell. Now, just in 12 days, I average between 6 and 10 people reaching out. So pretty cool results in the first 12 days. I've generated roughly like 72, 75 leads, qualified leads, and that's led to an additional like 6 sales that I know for sure would not have come in had it not been for this challenge. And so that's just a couple of the ways that I've grown personally so far, and some of the results that I've experienced over these first 12 days. But I want to actually share with you, now that that kind of foundation has been laid, I want to share with you the top 3 things that I'm kind of taking away from this in these first 12 days that will almost guarantee an extra 6 figures of income to me and my business over the next 12 months. So let's get into it. The first tip number 1, very simply put, do more lives. If you are not going live consistently, then you are not making as big of an impact as you could potentially be making. And so going live more often It's the easiest way to increase your impact to this world, period. It's also, if you do them correctly, it's also the easiest way to get a consistent stream of new people reaching out to you every single day about your product, your service, or your opportunity. And so just simply put, doing more lives will will increase the amount of results that you actually get. Hey, April, how are you? Hope you're doing well. So do more lives. That's the first tip that I got for you. But what are the other important things that you can do to really make these lives much more effective for yourself? And that leads us to tip number 2. All right. So tip number 2 is don't be lazy with your titles. Titles are what get people to click play on the live. And so if you want people to watch your lives, you have to put some thought into the titles that you put. Don't just put going live. Don't just put a hashtag. Don't just put day 5. Don't just put something lazy as a title. Actually put some thought into it. Now, one way, because simply put, if they don't click play, they're never going to even hear the call to action that you give at the end of the thing. And so one way to actually write better titles is to study magazines at the checkout counter at the grocery store. Because if you think about it, headlines are what sell magazines. It's not the content inside, it's the headlines. That's what sells magazines. And the magazines that are at the checkout counter at the grocery store, those are the magazines that have already proven themselves to be the best sellers. And so those are like, when you walk up to the checkout counter, that's like a buffet of the best magazine headline copywriters out there, because those are the ones that made it to the checkout counter. And so when you're looking at these magazines, you can see the similarities, the commonalities in the headlines, and you can model them and use them as the formulas to actually write better headlines to get more people onto your Facebook Lives. You can also use that same thing to write better subject lines to get more of your emails open, or whatever the case is. And so that's a cool little trick that we've learned. So it's a huge takeaway. I've used it in the past, but there's a couple of distinctions in the way it just helped it click more in my mind. And so that is tip number 2. All right, I'll give you a quick little bonus tip, just kind of just a side bonus tip here. Getting more people on your lives. If you were to spend, say, 5 minutes before you actually go live. Now, this is something that I personally have to get better about, because I forget sometimes. But if you're to spend just 5 minutes before you go live and go through your timeline and engage with like 20, 25, 30 people, meaning dropping hearts, leaving comments, actually engaging with others, what you will find is whenever you go live, or whenever you immediately post a piece of content shortly after you do that, you'll find a lot of those people that you engage with, they end up consuming your new live or your new piece of content. And so if you want more people to engage with your stuff, you got to go and engage with others as well. All right, you engage with more people's stuff, you will have more people engaging with yours. So that's just kind of a bonus little tip to get more engagement and more people on your lives. And so tip number 3 is master the art of transitions. Now, transitions is one of the most important parts of the whole puzzle, because when you master transitions, you literally open up the doors for all kinds of content possibility. You can literally talk about anything and then transition into selling anything. Now, one tip that I'll give you here in just a moment, you'll see that it's not the best idea to sell from your Facebook Lives. But when you master transitions, you can talk about brewing beer as your content, and you can transition into your business opportunity. You can talk about underwater cat shaving and transition into your shampoo product that you sell. It doesn't matter the content or the call to action or the product that you're trying to get people to transition to. If you master transitions, which serves as a bridge to connect the content and the offer, then everything gets much easier. You open up the door of possibility of things that you can actually talk about. And for me, that was a big hang up. I was like, well, I'm limited in the things that I can talk about, because I just had this false belief that what I talk about had to be at least somewhat similar or congruent to the thing that I really wanted to point people to at the end of it. That's not the case. If you master transitions, you can literally talk about anything and transition into anything else. And so that is the next tip. So I'm going to give you another bonus tip. So what am I giving? I'm like 5 now. So another bonus tip: at the end of your content, whenever you deliver the content that you promise, you want to give a call to action, all right, a CTA, rather than a CTP, which is something that I am guilty of doing. So a CTP is a call to purchase. There's also a CTJ, which is a call to join. Network marketers do this quite often. Hey, if you like this content and you're interested in joining my thing or joining my team, reach out to me. That's a call to join. If you like this content and you want to learn more about the shampoo that I sell, reach out to me. That's a call to purchase. You will get significantly more leads, more people into a conversation if, instead of doing a call to purchase or instead of doing a call to join, you do a call to action. You seek conversation over conversion. All right? So conversation over conversion will lead to a lot more conversations. So imagine this scenario, and I talked about this on another live earlier, but imagine if you've got 1,000 people on your Facebook Live and you give a call to purchase your shampoo product. Well, who's going to actually reach out to you? Only the ones that are interested in buying that shampoo product from you. So I don't know, maybe 5, maybe 10 out of 1,000 if you do a really good job. Compare that to what if you said, hey, I hope you enjoyed the tips. If you want 10 additional ingredients that you absolutely must never put in your hair, and it's in most shampoos, reach out to me. I've got a list. It's a secret list. I'll send it to you for free. If you give a call to action like that, you'll have probably 500 people reach out to you instead of 5 saying, I'm ready to buy. So now all of a sudden you're in 500 conversations. All right, you whittle that down, you probably have realistic conversations or good conversations with, I don't know, maybe 200 or 300 of them, and you'll close 100 people instead of maybe the 5 had you have just sent them directly to the product you're selling in the beginning. And so that one for me is a big time differentiator in how I was operating my Facebook Lives before, doing calls to purchase, doing calls to join. And it just works much better if you just do a call to action, a call to conversation. All right. And so there you go. 3 tips. Actually, I gave 2 bonus ones. So there's 5 tips in there. These are things that I've learned over the last 12 days that I believe will, when applied consistently over this next year, they're going to easily result in an additional 6 figures for me in the next 12 months. Just because of the sheer additional increase in leads that I'm talking to, and the amount of conversations and the conversions that come from those conversations. And so I hope you enjoyed this content. I hope you found it helpful. If you did and you feel like clicking on the share button, that would be greatly appreciated. And if you'd like an even deeper dive into this kind of stuff, I do go deeper into these 5 specific tips as well as a whole lot more. Because over the last 12 days, I've been taking really diligent notes every single day. I add to the Google document. And so I've got a Google document with like 30 pages of notes all on the topic of delivering and executing successful and effective Facebook Lives to actually grow your business, to generate more leads and all of that stuff. And so if you're interested in those notes, if you're a marketing nerd like me, or you just want to take your Facebook Live game to the next level, or you want to generate more leads online, these notes will absolutely help. And so if you're interested in them, just reach out. I'll send them over to you, no strings attached. I could easily probably sell these notes for $100 if I wanted to. And it's like a whole course just within the notes. And so, but either way, if you want them, I'll give them to you, no charge, no strings attached. Just comment the word challenge on this thread, or just reach out to me. Just say, hey, just send me a private message here on Facebook. Say, hey, send me your marketing notes, and I'll gladly send them over to you ASAP. No strings attached, totally free. They're all yours. So thanks again for joining. I hope you got some value. I'm going to go pack my bags because I am literally heading out to Iceland tomorrow. I'm thrilled about that. I'm so excited. Can't wait. So I got stuff to do. I'm going to go pack. You guys have an amazing night. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.